suddenly started to scream and yell, and when he was raised from the pit, his condition was seen to be aged. He seemed to be pale, he was shaking, he was showing all the signs of someone who was in terror and had been in phenomenal terror. We do not, or we'll never know exactly what it was that he saw, but his reaction to it is one that I would have put akin to the fact it was an induced heart attack, very close to an autonomic death. He would have had a massive shot of adrenaline to his heart, and when he came out, he would resemble someone who had a heart attack and would be ashen, pale, drained, and with blood lacking in his face. He would look almost on the point of death, which in fact is what he was. In terms of the mental health of the team, etc., I'd be more concerned in this particular location. One, because you're not on terra firma, you're not in your familiar territory, and there is something slightly disturbing and strange when you're a long, long way from home, and particularly when you're actually confronted with a place that historically is steeped. I mean, to call something the gateway to hell does invoke some kind of finality that this is it. You have lots and lots of haunted houses, but this is the entry to our historical past of fear. As long as they remember the old adage, you have nothing to fear but fear itself, I think they may steer clear of problems, but I imagine this is going to be one of the places that is going to cast a large shadow across their hearts.
Well, on that cheery note from psychologist David Holmes, let's say hello for the last time before the vigil starts to Carl Beattie about Fielding again. OK, has that given you pause for thought, what you heard there? People driven mad, driven to the point of death by fear?
Yeah, when you hear somebody like David Holmes say all those things, you actually think, actually, you know, I know this sounds very dramatic, but you could actually die from fear.
Well, the thing is, out of all the things that Most Haunted has managed to achieve in the sort of the 10 years that we've been running, the beginning of Armageddon is probably the one we didn't want to be known for, but when you think tonight what we're dealing with, I'm not saying we are going to start Armageddon, but when you see that, it's the finality. There is only one gateway to hell. There are many haunted houses and haunted places, but this, it's huge.
And what's fascinating when you think about it is what David outlined, that of course human beings conditioned to fight or flight. What do you two do to control that? I mean, I know sometimes you get aggressive there, you want to confront what's out there, Carl, but also you've got to keep that rational head on to kind of analyse what's happening to you. How do you do that?
Stupidity, mainly, I think. I'm not the most intelligent person in the world, but you know, I'm kind of up for a fight with whatever's there, because I want it to, if it's going to pick me up and throw me about, or whatever it's going to do, if it's going to age me even more than Most Haunted already has, but that I want to see it, I want to feel it, because then I know it's 100% true, it's actually happened and it's happened to me. So I want to stay there, and no matter what the outcome is, I want it to happen to me, and you're getting there with that as well, aren't you?
I am, but if I do see anything really horrendous tonight or anything like that, I'll be really honest, you'll have to take over the show, because I'm going to take the microphone off and I'm out of here, because I don't want to. I think what we're doing is great, and it's really, but I don't want to push it, and I think maybe we're pushing it just a bit too much.
I don't think I've ever heard you say that before. Does that mean you've got a sense that something really unpleasant might be in store for you?
No, I just think that, you know, just listening to that, just listening to David, and to actually thinking, well, a lot of people left here for some odd reason. We don't know why they left here. There's so much mystery to this particular location. And after last night, and you're dabbling with the Ouija board and everything, I don't want to end up, you know, living alone, rocking backwards and forwards, a complete wreck, to be honest. And so I'm thinking to myself, if I see anything that is going to make me lose my mind completely, that's it, I'm out of here.
Without putting more fear into your minds, the really chilling thing for me about what David said was that we've heard a lot this week from Leslie about torture and senseless feudal mayhem and people being vile to each other. This man was lowered down to try and find out what's going on. There was no evil intent there, and he emerged a madman close to death.
But I think that's one of the things that normally what we deal with with Most Haunted is obviously mainly hauntings. That's what we go for, and those hauntings are usually caused by, obviously, death, but that death is usually caused by some horrific incident, execution, whether it be murder, whether it be some slow, painful death. We're actually dealing with the daddy of all evil here, allegedly, and we are, you know, standing on the place that he's supposed to be able to come out of. That is something we have never done before, and certainly with the belief here that this is exactly that. It is the gateway to hell. That's something we have to take very seriously, and the crew has. The crew's been acting very strange today, all of them, not just the investigation crew, but you know, a lot of the riggers, a lot of the security. They're all a bit on edge today.
The security won't go back down into where the, you know, the photograph that was shown earlier on. They won't go back down in the
I see a P45 in his future.
Yeah.
Okay, I shouldn't be joking because there's very serious business ahead for us tonight. Let's find out a little bit more before you embark on the first vigil. A little bit more about our location tonight, Castle Houska. Take a look at this.
Leaving the city behind and journeying deep into the harsh, bleak Czech wilderness, you will eventually arrive at the gates of the imposing, isolated and deeply troubled Castle Houska. Most Haunted's most foreboding location to date. Houska's origins are shrouded in mystery, and its majestic exterior and grand stately rooms hide the darkest secret in all of Bohemia. For legend has it that this castle is built on the gateway to hell itself. It is widely believed that the entrance to Satan's lair cracked open here in 878, and bizarre half-human beasts and flying creatures spewed from within. Local people were driven into a terrified frenzy, and criminals were lowered into the hole before being dragged back up, screaming in horror. One man was said to be so terrified by the experience that he aged 30 years in a matter of seconds, and shortly afterwards died of fear. Houska was built with the purpose of covering this sinister gateway. A chapel was erected directly over the portal in a bid to seal it for all eternity. However, it would seem this concealment was unsuccessful, as sightings of bizarre beasts and unnerving occurrences have been reported throughout the years. Houska's links with evil endured well into the 20th century, when the castle was supposedly occupied as a Nazi base during World War II. It is likely the castle was frequented by Hitler's third in command, Reinhard Heydrich, a man integral to the creation of the horrific concentration camps. Heydrich was later assassinated in Prague, and Hitler avenged his death with the murder of thousands of Czechs. The culmination of this intense investigation, Night 4 represents the most terrifying challenge ever. Could this journey through the gateway of hell signify the end of days for the Most Haunted team?
So that is tonight's location, right here, Castle Houska. I think you guys have a mountain to climb. I want you to stay safe. And interestingly, while you were talking about the change in attitude with the crew, I could hear them talking in my earpiece inside our big scanner truck, and the whole team, Arch and Emma and Joy and everybody, are feeling very uneasy. They're nervous on your behalf, so stay safe out there. The investigation is about to begin. This is Most Haunted Live, our final night from Czech Republic. Join us after this. Welcome back to Most Haunted Live. It is the final night of a 4-night investigation from right here in the Czech Republic. We're about an hour and a half outside Prague. We're 1 hour ahead of you time-wise. The clocks went forward here as well. So the witching hour, midnight, will be with us when it's 11 p.m. in the UK. And our investigation tonight into the gateway to hell is about to begin right here in Castle Houska. Let's go now to Yvette Fielding and the team, and good luck to all of them.
Thank you very much, Paul. I have to say, I don't think I've ever been to a location ever in the history of Most Haunted that has such a bad vibe. This place has just got the most amazing history. There's so much that has gone on here, and I, for one, can't wait to start the investigation. As you can see, I'm sort of walking in this sort of courtyard area. It's open to the elements up there, and we've got these torches here just to light our way. To let you know where the rest of the team are, we have... up in the very top of the building, we have Carl and Kieran. Kath, bless her, is on her own in what I'm calling the piano room. And we have Simon and Stuart down in the cellars. They're all on webcams. And now I am with Chris Burton, and we have Guy, and we have Robin on sound, we have Mike